Supersports boys, 36 is your pole man. The last two races he's won at Oulton, he's won at Mondello. Before that, it was Leon Camia who won at Thruxton and Mallory Park, and the race 1 win at Brands Hatch was Jay Vincent. They are the only 3 winners in this race series so far this year. Coming under orders, red lights will go out. No greens anymore, they just go on the extinguished red lights. And they are all over the place coming down into turn 1.
Stuart Easton.
Yeah, good start for the Ducati man. He's out of control. He can't pull it down. But he stays on the track and goes into 3rd place. Sykes is in 2nd place. But that looks to me like Jonesy out front. He leads his championship by a point and he leads the race. Girlfriend Karen Atkins will be jumping up and down on pit wall. There he is, 18. Honda sponsored, Engage Nokia sponsored motorcycle. Craig Jones, one of the most exciting youngsters to be in Great Britain today, and behind him is the man that is just as equally exciting, Tom Sykes on the Suzuki. What a great pairing. And then Stuart Easton, of course, he was a sensation a couple of years ago, and he's still only, what, 22 years old?
Still a youngster. Yeah, he had that moment on the opening corner there on the first corner, but managed to recover and keep everything in line. And
real talent to be able to hold on to it when it's that far out of control. Matt Llewellyn, it looked like style-wise in the 4th place to me. Let me have a look again. Yeah, Matt Llewellyn, great start. No, in fact, it's not. Yeah, it might be actually.
It's Jamie Robinson in 4th.
Oh, he's got a great style as well. Jamie, right? It's Jamie Robinson. You're absolutely right. Jamie Robinson, former Grand Prix man. One of my first ever guests when he was 15 in my first live broadcast. How about that?
There's been a few since then. Tom Sykes is looking strong here. Craig Jones is always like a wound-up spring off the grid. Real fast starter, real big action in the first lap. But Tom Sykes equally as fast in the first lap, but looking really good on that GSXR 600 Suzuki.
Jonesy gave great style at the World Supersports round at Silverstone, and really was disappointed. Mechanical failure, unfortunately for him. The team tried something, didn't quite work right for them. Of course, they are independent of Honda. They do run Honda motorcycles, and that Suzuki looked very quick coming out of that chicane, but Jonesy just about manages to wind the Honda up.
Tom's quick into this next turn.
And he's up the inside. You right there, Neil. Dear me. Is he pulling it down? No, he's not. He's doing the Glenn Richards route.
Not quite as wide as Glenn Richards there, but he was a little bit deep in there and just cost him a little bit of time, had to run wide.
Stuart Easton still on bike number 3 in 3rd place, but it is 36, Tom Sykes 2nd, but leading 18 is Craig Jones. Look at Stuart Easton. That Ducati loves these fast, long sweepers. That's where that bike is definitely at its best.
749 Ducati, really good through fast corners, and Stuart Easton really nice, relaxed, smooth riding style as well, and they both work very well together through sections of the Croft racetrack.
Jamie Robinson on 4th place at the moment on the 77 bike. That's the Tenkata Honda, and that's an important motorcycle out on any racetrack. And behind him is Jay Vincent on the 24 Paget's Honda. So a fair old mix at the moment. Oh, not over the top of him, surely. I don't believe Sykes was going to go the long way around. Almost gets
Stuart Easton
by Stuart Easton. Yeah, Stuart Easton was on the classic line while Tom Sykes was messing around. And I think that's what I like about these youngsters, is that they just keep trying different ways of getting around a racetrack fast. Sykes' way wasn't very quick just there, I have to say.
The only rider that was helped there was Craig Jones at the front, as we see Jay Vincent just slipping past Jamie Robinson into 4th.
Yeah, Jay Vincent, the winner here last year from Leon Camia. Camia was brilliant, and I tell you what, Sykes, he was right out on that white line then. This, of course, has been declared a wet race, which means if we have any more rain, they won't stop the race because of the rain. Of course, they will stop if the race becomes dangerous, because that overrides everything. But, I mean, they've got to be out on dry tyres. None of these guys will have gone out on wets or intermediate because the track is dry, despite being called a wet race.
They'll be out on their stickiest dry tyres, and you see Tom Sykes
so fast
catching
there.
Craig Jones through there, and Stuart Easton going with him. But Jay Vincent not far behind.
No, Jay Vincent. I keep going on about style, but really we've got some leading exponents in style at the moment. Craig Jones, because of his all-action aggressive style, sideways into the turns. Tom Sykes is a little bit of a cross between Craig Jones and Stuart Easton behind him. Oh, through goes Sykesy. Lovely little manoeuvre.
Nice pass. That Suzuki is nice fast.
Pass. It's fast and it sticks to the road now. They've got those Pirelli tyres working bang on.
Jay Vincent up to 3rd.
He's on Dunlops. Metzler are on the Engage Nokia bikes. That's Craig Jones, and it would be Cal Crutchlow if he was out there. So we've got Pirelli, Metzler, and Jay Vincent on Dunlops, and I think Stuart Easton on Dunlops also.
Craig Jones is looking a bit classical, black leathers and white helmet on there.
I mean, you know that I'm in the Craig Jones fan club anyway. And in fact, all these youngsters really, they are just so good. Sykes' all action, Jonesy's likewise. No, well, these two go back so far racing against each other.
You notice Craig Jones there carrying the Honda car logo on his bike there.
Indeed.
Whoa, Stuart Easton round the outside, managing to get past Jay Vincent, but I think maybe outbraked him, but ran wide, but managed to hold that third place.
And Leon Camier still hanging on there behind Jay Vincent. Fastest lap so far goes to Jay Vincent, 1:24.4. A quick scan down here and see what we're doing as far as lap records are concerned. Supersport lap record 1:23.9, Leon Camier. Keep an eye on that. Look at this race. What a great race this is going to be.
Four-way battle with Leon Camier not that far behind in fifth.
And we're only on lap 4.
Yeah.
Now then, we're told from outside we're just getting a few spots of rain at the moment as well. Wait to see whether these steady it up at all. And the likelihood is if there is rain coming down, there are going to be battles all the way around this field. But anybody, yeah, there it is on our camera, our high camera.
Stuart Easton through to second, but the moment coming out the hairpin there.
So Craig Jones slips back into third place on the 18 bike, but still leading 36. Tom Sykes, look at him, he's under the paint, Sykes. Up comes Jay Vincent. Jay Vincent looks for a way under. Craig Jones doesn't get it either. Into turn 1. Tricky little part of the course this. Immediately into that chicane. And then another one as it gets faster and faster through the long right-hander. Sykes is already through. Now then, this is where this Ducati start. Oh, Jonesy right out over the white line. I'll tell you what, he's risking that right out there.
He doesn't need to be out there with his getting wet, that's
Look
for
at
sure.
this, oil flag out. That means it's getting slippy here, so we're having a bit of rain on this turn.
Oh, you can see that. Stuart Easton getting
me.
it sideways there. You can see the tyres actually picking up a bit of moisture.
Yeah, that's a worry. If they've got the flag out, that's diminished adhesion flag rather than an oil flag. I can tend to call it an oil flag because in the old days, that's pretty much what it was for. But nowadays, of course, if the track is changing in its adhesion, you will get that yellow and red diagonal striped flag out from the marshals. Big shout for the marshals, of course. Brilliant they are everywhere we go to. And conditions, we think we're having it hard as far as the weather's concerned, but most of these guys are camped or in caravans in the campsite outside here, up to their ankles in water during the 3 days that they're working here. And working for nothing, incidentally.
Leon Camier now on the back of this group. Bit of a case of who dares wins here, isn't there?
Good phrase. Tom Sykes. Sykes, he leads from Les Battersby. Jones is still in second place and looking brave. Tom Sykes, 1:24.1 now. 1:24.1 was his quickest lap last time. A little bit quicker every time. 1:23.9 is Camier's lap record. Gives you some idea when you consider that that the weather conditions certainly not ideal here.
Yeah, last lap, this is the slippiest corner in the racetrack, and this is where the oil flags were.
Through out wide was Craig Jones. Be interesting to see whether anybody's managed to make any advance. Yeah, through has gone Stuart Easton. Next coming Jay Vincent. Vincent looking for a way underneath Jones if he can. Got the run at him, but not a passing place in the double apex corners there. Camier's come to play as well. Leon Camier. So Sykes 36, 18. Jones in second place, third. In fact, Easton is in second place on 3. Jones has slipped back to third place on 18. 24 is Jay Vincent. 2 is Leon Camier. Coming up to join them could be Eugene Laverty on the. Yes, it is the Red Bull bike. So Eugene Laverty. Wow, he's closing in.
There in a Paget Yamaha.
Yeah,
Leon Camier.
at least they're the same colour. So Camier has forced his way underneath Jay Vincent. And if I remember rightly, that was the scene of their big battles last year. Eventually, Jay Vincent just getting the better of Camier to win the race last year. Eugene Laverty has made up a load of ground. So number 50 on the Red Bull Rookies bike. Eugene Laverty right on 50.
Problem there for Jay Vincent. Jay Vincent got a problem with his bike. His hand went up immediately, obviously mechanical or electrical, but he's got a dead bike there.
New lap record from Stuart Easton, 1:23.3 as far as I can make it out. So Jay Vincent is pulled out and lap record has gone to Stuart Easton. It's all happening on this last lap.
Well, Stuart Easton Stuart Easton, through these Jim Clark S's, through this fast part of the racetrack, this is where Stuart Easton really makes up ground. You can see.
Oh, that's why. He's using the concrete as well as the tarmac.
Well, it certainly worked that lap. It wouldn't work if it was wet, that's for sure.
Tom Sykes, he's almost running into Tom Sykes in these fast turns.
Wow. Just
wants to get through. He's got such a lot of corner speed, Easton.
749 Ducati working extremely well through the faster sections of the Croft Raceway.
Might not be the quickest motorcycle top end wise, perhaps, but that Ducati, once it winds itself up, the 749 Ducati is one of my favourite motorcycles to ride. The front end on it is just wonderful. Not that I ride very fast anymore, Neil.
Well, I'm sure Stuart Easton's thinking pretty much the same.
Well, he doesn't like the bottom gear left-hander onto the straight. I mean, that's where the Ducati is killed.
Yeah, it just lacks a little bit there, but Stuart Easton fastest.
Whoa, here it goes. Underneath he goes. Stuart Easton takes the lead then at the end of lap 7, I should say. We're on lap 8 now. Easton leads, and to be frank, unless oh dear me, great big darky down on the track there from Tom Sykes, rear end spinning like mad, black rubber marks all over the tarmac. So will Stuart Easton ease away now? He loves that wide line. That's the Michael Rutter line there, isn't it? Rutter on the Superbike like to be out wide just there as well. Let's take another look at this then. Up the inside. He just didn't look like he got the grunt onto that straight to have put himself in a position to make the pass at the end of that straight to me, Neil, but he found it.
Certainly very confident on the brakes, and like you said, the front end of that 749 Ducati working perfectly there. Outbrake Tom Sykes and turned in.
Turning in being the, the least requirement from any motorcycle, really. If you can stop it bouncing up the inside and still turn it. Does look good.
Tom Sykes at one point just seemed to be storming away into the distance, but Stuart Easton managed to pull that advantage back.
Oh, look at this. Through comes Sykes here. I'll tell you what, that was Camia that moved up. Eugene Laverty's there as well. Eugene Laverty, Eugene spinning the rear end of that motorcycle in the dirt. He won't get any traction out there. Jones, Camia and Laverty. This is the battle for third, fourth and fifth place. Still leading is Easton from Sykes. Then it's Craig Jones on the 18 bike. Here are your race leaders. I reckon they're closing them down. Let's take a look on this overall. It's 2.1 seconds back from Easton, the leader, to Jones in third place. 2.1 being the difference. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Now Craig Jones, Liam Cammy putting in their fastest personal laps on that last lap, so they're going faster as the race progresses. Easton looks good through here.
I'll tell you what, I think Tom Sykes has got a little rope around his neck that's tied to the tank, because I haven't seen his head come up from behind that bubble all the way through this race. Matt Llewellyn's retired. He slipped down to 10th place. I saw that on the monitor, but I didn't want to say anything about it until we knew what was going on. Matt Llewellyn has retired from this race, so, well, mate, he's out. But he'll be back next time, that's for sure. Next time, of course, being Knock Hill in Scotland.
No question. Tom Sykes, he is a battler, he's a grafter.
Here we go again. Camia versus Jones versus Eugene Laverty. That's your trio. Jones at the moment has that fourth place.
Big moment there coming on the start-finish straight.
He did that last time where he got the back wheel in the dirt on the way out of the hairpin. He just seems to want a wider track than there is here at Croft. Look at Sykes all over the rear end of Easton. I thought he might just be able to ease away here, but Sykes has
Sykes is good through this section, through this right-left flick. Gets a good drive.
Oh, that's as big as you're ever going to get without falling off. Can't believe he stayed on that. He taps himself on the head to make sure his head's still on his shoulders, and through comes Jones. I can't believe that. That was as big as you're ever going to get just then.
I should have known to start complimenting anyone there.
Well, he had it lit up there 2 laps ago, and again, he will not roll out the throttle, will he? He just keeps it nailed even when the thing gets out of order.
Trying to get a drive there, got a bit of a slide, but it really bit him back.
Well, Philip Neal, of course, is the team manager. Hector Neal, that's the Hector the older. He's out in the Isle of Man watching the TAS team. They're racing right as we speak in the Isle of Man TT. Today is the Formula 1 TT, of course. Adrian Archibald, one of the favourites for that, riding for TAS. And Bruce Anstey still too racing for them. They had a great Northwest 200. But right now, Tom Sykes, all he's done is make their heart go into their mouth. Leading now by a mile is Stuart Easton. Through has come Camia into second place, with Jones there in third place. So that's 2 Camia, 18 Jones, and they are chasing number 3 Stuart Easton, who's been let off the hook because Tom Sykes, well, he was making that bike do a dance. Through into fourth place has come Eugene Levity on the 50 bike, and Tom Sykes on 36 is just having a bit of a breather.
A bit of a breather, regather his thoughts. He did well, you could see him shaking his head. I think he couldn't believe that he actually saved it and managed to get away with that. But
he's a lovely bloke, Sykesy, that's for sure. Never known a young man eat like he does either.
2 seconds is the gap between Stuart Easton and Liam Camia now.
Camia has the fastest lap, and therefore the lap record. It was his lap record coming into here from last year. He said it again, 1:23.32. I have noted it out. So Leon Camia is the fastest man ever around here on a British Supersports bike. There he is, bike number 2. Clive Paget in pit lane. We'll be keeping an eye on what's going on. Well, if he keeps banging in those kind of times, he's going to catch Stuart Easton, and he's going to tow this lot round up to the leader as well.
He certainly is. I wonder if it's a tyre thing round here, because we've got Stuart Easton on Dunlops at the front, then Liam Camia also on Dunlops, Tom Sykes on the Pirellis and Craig Jones on the Metzlers.
Tyre wars have never been as intense as they are nowadays. There's another Metzler shot man, that's number 4, Perry Reba. Reba down in 6th place at the moment on the MSS Discovery Kawasaki. They are out in, of course, in the Isle of Man also. Ryan Farquhar is riding their big superbike for the TT race that's going on as we speak. If we get a result, we'll give it to you later in this programme. Tom Sykes is all over Eugene Lavity. Oh, and it's a comeback ride as well, we should say, for Rob Frost. While I look at Eugene Lavity, so Rob Frost is back after his 30-day ban.
And doing a good job in 8th.
He is in 8th place, so Rob Frost on the 75 bike, if you get a chance to see him. Hopefully he'll be keeping his nose clean. Up the inside goes Sykesy on Eugene Lavity. You're never going to mess with Tom Sykes on the brakes, are you?
And Tom Sykes has got it all to do again. Back there in 4th position, but still a rostrum in sight.
Easton still leads, 1.491.
That's half a second he's lost to Camia.
Yeah, Camia's on a charge, but Camia put in such a cracking last lap. He broke his own lap record again. Camia closing in, 1.49 it was as he crossed the line last time. Remember that if you can. Then it's the Jones, Lavity, Sykes situation. Craig Jones has had a bit of a breather there on bike 18. And his 50, Eugene Lavity. In front of him is 36, Tom Sykes. Sykes in 5th place. 4th place now because he's passed. Oh, Sykes out wide again. Gets the power on though and still manages to pass Eugene Lavity. It's almost like Eugene Lavity had it in the wrong gear at the apex there.
Eugene Lavity does struggle at that corner.
He does have a bit of a swirl. He's going to try up the inside. So I'll tell you what, if he outbreaks Tom Sykes, I would be mega impressed. Lap 13 of 20. Obviously the rain, we had a few spits of rain just a moment ago. They've obviously gone away now. Maybe we should get a weather report from our high camera position. He seems to have his head right up in the clouds. Radio down here and let us know what's going on.
Well, the gap's still decreasing between Easton and Camia, now down to 1.1 seconds.
Take a look at the Supersports Cup races that are going on behind these. Of course, there's 2 races. Gary Johnson leads out at the moment on the GTR Motorsports Kawasaki. So Gary Johnson is the leader of our British Supersports Cup for the privateers. Of course, Gary Johnson is your series leader at that as well at the moment. He had a 2nd place last time out of Mondello.
Tom Sykes out wide there on the paint for a moment.
Not a place to be, but Sykes, he just seems to not care. He's got that sort of devil-may-care attitude to wherever it's slippery. We saw him nearly lose it twice on that left-hander where he was fast out the back. Meanwhile, there he is, race leader, Stuart Easton. 1.1 was his lead last time round, down from 1.4, and that's tripped him up even more. The back marker has caused Easton a major problem. Wait for Camia to come into sight. He will any minute because he's right there. There he is, number 2 in 2nd place, Leon Camia. Lap record to him a couple of laps ago, 32, just moving out of the way. Shane Pearson in the Supersports Cup race. Through has come the 3rd place man, number 18, Craig Jones. 19 now wobbling away in the middle of it is Julian Bull on the Team Cytec Yamaha. So as they sort out the back markers, Easton is through. He never gets up from behind the bubble either on that Ducati. Then it is Leon Camia, big, tall, 6'2" Leon Camia. He's grown about 3 foot in the time I've known him. certainly growing in stature racing motorcycles, that's for sure. Good, classy race. He said consistency is what he was looking for from the rest of his races. The last 2 races, of course, he didn't score, so he just needs good podium finishes. Easton right out in the concrete there again, the other side of the white line, but still closing in. There's the ever-stylish Paget's Honda, sponsored by HM Plant as well. Some of the HM Plant, John Jones is here as well, the principal of HM Plant. He's here today, having a good look round.
And first meeting this year, he said he's been so busy and lots of stuff going on business-wise. Huge investment in racing, but this has been the first meeting he's able to get along to.
Well, the sport will be a much, much poorer place without the likes of John Jones, as Cameo runs it wide and looks to pull it down and get great drive onto this front straight. Maybe while he's not being interfered with by other people, he can afford looking for the perfect line for a drive onto that straight. Down to 7/10 of a second. He's Cameo, and the fastest lap again for Cameo. We're into the 22s, 22.9. That's a second quicker than his old lap record, and in conditions slightly less than perfect. So Leon Cameo is on a mission. Just 7/10 now. Another back marker coming into view for Stuart Easton. Got to deal with it. He drags his heel down just to let you know where to go. That's James Hillier, formerly of the Virgin Mobile Cup. He's on the Gearlink Kawasaki. So 37 James Hillier moves out of the way. Through goes your lead up, but ever closer is Cameo. Hillier looks round to see where Cameo is. This is riding very, very sensibly, keeping an eye on where the leaders are and watching the flags. That's James Hillier I'm talking about. But 3 and 2, this is going to be a real dogfight to the end.
Yeah, really, it's going to be close at the end here. 15th lap out of 20, and Leon Cameo is getting closer by the corner.
Still Craig Jones on bike 18 in 3rd place. Still Tom Sykes Tom Sykes up to 4th place on 36. Then it's Eugene Laverty on bike 50 in 5th place. Perry Reba in 6th place on bike number 4. But all eyes on these two. Back marker time again, blue flags being frantically waved. It's difficult for the marshals to pick out who's a back marker and who's not, but experience tells them exactly what's going on. So many people in the middle of our shot. Pick one to keep an eye on. Through has gone Easton, through has gone Cameo. They've just passed Chris Ambler. Chris Ambler riding the Honda. 16 and 20. I'll tell you what, if you bet on these two, I would bet on Leon Cameo. That's not to do Stuart Easton a disservice, but
he's strong here. He's strong mid-corner here, and he gets a good slingshot onto this back straight. Watch this.
I think it's more down to the fact that Cameo's a hitman. He is never shy on the last lap. When it comes to a pass, he will try and make it, and I think he's going to be happy to sit there with Stuart Easton.
You reckon last lap?
I reckon last lap, unless he feels he's got the pace to do Easton over, but I don't think he has. I think if he goes past Easton early, it'll be a mistake, because I think Stuart Easton will be able to raise his game when he's in behind Cameo. That's just my view. Laverty in the pits. Well, that's a disaster. Eugene Laverty in the pits on the Red Bull Rookies sponsored British Supersports race bike. And I'm sorry to hear that, because he was right up there at one point, but Laverty is now down pit lane. So Easton, Cameo, Jones in 3rd place. Tom Sykes is in a safer 4th place now, if you like, with a 10-second lead over Perry Reba back in 5th place. I'll back your question whether it will wait till the last lap. Cameo looks so much faster in some places over Easton. And I'm not sure he will wait, but I think he's got to be pretty confident to make the pass on Easton and make it stick if he gives Easton a few laps to return.
You're right there, but he has been catching him 3 or 4 tenths a lap, so he's definitely got some pace on Stuart Easton. But whether Stuart Easton is being conservative, he'll be watching his pit board. But as you said, maybe if he shows his hand too early, then Stuart might be able to react and steal it back.
Both Dunlop shot, these two. Tom Sykes on Pirellis, Craig Jones on Metzler's, 3rd and 4th. Sykes has got in front of Jones, so Sykes is in front of Jones over the line. Tom Sykes on bike 36 is now 3rd, having had that misdemeanor a little bit earlier on. He's made his way back up to the podium. So the TAS Suzuki boys.
That Ducati's fast. You can see Leon gets onto the back straight there quite strongly, but Stuart Easton,
I think mid-range it seems to punch out of the slightly faster mid-range corners than it does out the dead stop ones, but
mid-range grunt.
Yeah, once it gets grunting, the thing's quite good. But out the bottom gear corners, the Honda, I think, has got the legs on it quite easy. But you're right. I have to smile at all the press that the Ducatis were getting in the winter about them being yesterday's bike. And here we have Lavia in the superbike class putting it all over everybody if he can, and Easton on the 749. It is a work of art. When it's got its clothes off, that 749 Ducati just looks lovely.
It's a good bike.
Out wide, This could be the passing place now, because Camia will have been early on the gas there down to turn 1. Will he be able to resist it? But once again, the Ducati just showed he's got long legs once it starts going. Once it starts building up to speed.
The thing with the Ducatis is it's okay if you've got the right people looking after them, and of course John Hackett looking after this bike, and the GSE people with the factory 999 bikes in the Superbike class. You really need to have the budget and the experienced people to run them properly.
Through we go, Tom Sykes corner, as I've renamed it, with all the dark lines everywhere. Easton, real class, stylish rider. Likewise Leon Camia, although Camia is about 18 inches taller than Stuart Easton.
Stuart Easton, a long-time protege of the late Steve Hislop.
Indeed. Both from Hoyk, somewhere up north.
And before that, Jimmy Guthrie.
Going back to an era even I can't remember, but Jimmy Guthrie I can, of course. So we are still looking at Stuart Easton from Leon Camia. This is a real cat and mouse game. It looks like to me Camia has decided that he's going to mug him on the last lap, because we're on coming to the close of lap 18 of the 20. And I just think Camia he's a smart kid. He's not going to want to force the issue. Maybe he thinks similarly to I think, that if he forces it by Easton on the last lap, Stuart's not the kind of guy that's going to be able to come straight back at him. He's not a Tom Sykes or a Craig Jones, and I think that possibly, and I mean that in aggressive terms rather than riding standard terms, I think that Stuart Easton might need just a fraction longer to come back at Leon Camia. What is going to be an issue is when they're getting amongst all these back markers. Is that what you're straining about over there?
Well, I should have known that you would have known what Leon Camia was going to do, but the other element in the equation here, and the wildcard factor, is these half-dozen back markers that are about to be.
Well, I think that's where Camia will really use he'll force Easton into a difficult manoeuvre, perhaps through these back markers. Easton has got to be really, really sharp on these, and I would. There's Craig. Is that Craig Jones still out there as well? Was that Jones out the inside? No. I thought he was touring there for a moment. Jones is still back in 4th place. Sykes is still 3rd. Now then, Camia.
This is when it's going to count.
Well, he needs to get by now, I would say, and force Easton into having to fight defensively with back markers. Easton's got to cut through these like a knife through butter. And I'll tell you what, this part of the track is where Leon Camia looks really, really good. Look, he's going to the outside. Camia's going to the outside. Underneath has gone Easton, but that's Camia gone by. Where is Camia?
There.
Stuck right in amongst them.
He's doing well. He's doing very well. Zigzag through them.
Right the way through. So, nothing gained and nothing lost. And we're about to come on to the last lap. This is going to be a real storming last lap. Great corner there from Stuart Easton. He's not going to give Camia the chance on this first turn on this final lap. He's going to have to wait a little bit longer. It's going to be at the complex at the end of this lap, I reckon.
I'd say the first half of the track, Stuart Easton is stronger. Leon Camia did well to get through these back markers, not lose too much time and keep it safe.
Leon Camia, fastest lap and lap record at the moment, but that counts for nothing if you don't win it.
There.
Yeah, really quick. That is the corner that he needs to make the pace on, but I still think that Ducati, once it's running fast, it looks so quick through there. It's going to be the complex at the end of this lap. It cannot be anywhere else. Camia's going to have to be closer than that, and he's going to have to really think about it very, very strongly indeed. Bit of a block pass coming up, Neil, perhaps. Although I've got to say, Stuart Easton looks to me like he's pulled the pin, like he knows Camia was going to have a go at him on the last lap, and he's looked to me.
Plus here, Camia is closer again, and like you said, it's going to be the approach to the complex, or in the complex now. Well, in fact, that's the only chance he's going to have. One more back marker there. 2
more back markers, and that really could cause a problem. They might stay here waving blue flags. Back markers are looking where they are. Hopefully they don't take the concentration of the top man off there. This is going to be a run through. It's going to be a real tricky one. Camia is looking to put himself on the inside if he can. He touches him. That's it then. Stuart Easton surely has managed to just make it down into the last turn. He's just got to hold it tight here if he can and get the gas on. Camia, you saw the rear end of the bike sliding away. He was asking for the power early because he wanted the drive to the flag. He didn't get it. Stuart Easton, a deserved win for Stuart Easton. What a great ride that is. He hasn't won a race this year. First, a fine win from Stuart Easton over Leon Camia. Leon Camia taking a bit of a lunge on the closing stages, but no chance in the end. Craig Jones gets 3rd place. We'll be speaking with those 3 in just a moment or 2. Tom Sykes, Perry Reba, Jamie Robinson, Rob Frost back after that 30-day ban into 7th place, and Sam Owens. Tom Tunstall through Kieran Murphy. Craig Sproston, the best of the Supersports Cup boys in the end, beating Gary Johnson for that honour. Lee Dickinson was in the middle, but of course he's in Supersports proper. Two classes in one race, of course, here. Andy Weymouth also in the Cup races.